That violence is the only answer.
So violence is the only answer in those situations. And even saying that, I think we get to, even when I voice that, I think, really, is that the only answer? And sometimes it is. There's techniques I teach within the self-defense that I teach where I've had big, ugly-looking guys whose their bicep was the size of my leg. And the guy would turn around to me and I'd show him something and he'd go, "But I can't do that." I go, "Why not?" He said, "But you've snapped his back, you've jumped on his head." And I've gone, "Well, you might have to."
That's too violent. Do you think it's possible to create a space where no violence will ever be needed? In other words, a crime-free society.
I can't see it.
Why do you say that? Because I'm with you, I agree with you, but why? Why do you think so?
You've got people on drugs, you've got people who are alcoholics, you've got people who have violent tendencies already, and we can go into the whole conversation of nature or nurture, and I think there's a bit of both. And then you take all of those little factors in, and then you've got the psychopathy of your narcissist. And as we know, every serial killer is a narcissist, but not every narcissist is a serial killer. So they already have a certain violent tendency that potentially could become something. With our rules, with our religions, with our beliefs, with our values, with our family values, all of those sorts of things, we tend to keep things down. But we see it during wartime, where the individuals who you wouldn't have thought were violent become nasty little violent things. So how do you control that? How do we stop those violent intent coming?
I'm with you, and people go and say, but it's the police's responsibility. The police must safeguard us. But people forget that the police is and has always been and will always be a reactive force.
Yes.
Police can't go around arresting people until they've done something wrong.
No.
Police can't go waving their guns about to make people not do stuff. They must wait for people to do bad stuff before they become police, before they actually police.
And yet the statistics show us that most aggravated assaults or attacks on people happen within a 30 to 45 second or 60-second window. Instead of having a fire extinguisher in your house, hoping that the time that the fire starts, that the fire brigade is going to be just happen to be driving by your house.
Yes.
I don't like your likelihood. And people live with this idea that the security guard or the policeman or the military guy must be there at the time that the violent crime is occurring.
Yep.
And they're never there.
So it's always, okay, so the two things that I think people need to understand, and this is a message that we, in South Africa, being a violent country, we know it by now. You cannot count on the police. You can count on the police to be there in a country like Australia, where the police is doing whatever they can do, but they cannot prevent the crime from happening.
No.
And you must understand that if it comes to violence, it becomes very violent. It's not just, there's no mild violence involved in this.